Hi, hello everyone. This is an unexpected mini live where I would like to share our experiences from last week when we spent 4 days in London with my oldest son Felix. I hope you will have some time to join me now. You can ask anything about London, also about bilingualism and bilingual parenting and summer topic, but now, very quickly, I just want to ask you, because so many of you sent me private messages and I'm very, very thankful because this was really unexpected and I didn't realize that so many of you followed the news that beside we were having this wonderful sale in the web shop, which is actually ending today at midnight, so don't forget to check our web shop because everything is on sale with 22% of discount. But during this sale you've also noticed the message that I'm out of the office, and so many of you send me hearts and messages about how we've been in London and why we went to London and what did we do in London. So very quickly today I just want to share a few points that were very unexpected and surprising for us. But first of all, already 8 of you are watching and I'm so happy for you. Hi Rita and Briggy and Margot, it's great to have you here. Now let me ask you, have you ever been to London? And if you have, then when was it? When did you went to London or any other part of the UK? Because I'm really curious about your experiences as well, okay? And now, until you answer me, okay, it's Moni also watching. Hi Moni, how are you? Congratulations on your beautiful new baby. And I'm just sharing my experiences about our last week in London with Felix. And I was just asking all of you if you've ever been to London. Okay, now very quickly. How to London in English. I think it's a very, very tricky title. And I'll tell you why I gave this title to this mini live at the end of the live, okay? How difficult is real English for a kid? Okay, that's a wonderful question, Margot. Thanks for asking. And this is one of my points in this live. Evie is also watching. Great. Hi, Evie. So first of all, how we just did this. Okay, so some very practical details and recommendations to you if you ever want to take your child to London. And by the way, it's so funny that, you know, I usually speak American English as I grew up with Americans, and Andre is the one in our wonderful teachers group who speaks perfect British English. But, you know, as much, you know, more and more time I spend with her, my English is transforming as well. So after London, I started to speak a little bit more like a British person. But I try to keep up with my American because I try to be consistent on this. So how and when and why and what to do in London, right? We went to London for 4 days with my oldest son Felix, who is 7, and I can say he has been bilingual since he was born, okay? So 7 years of home bilingualism, of playgroups, rhyme times, books, jump and funs, native groups that he also attended earlier. And my goal was to a little bit just to dip him into a native English environment for a few days. And actually many of you asked me, like, how did I plan this, you know, with our huge family and number of kids. Well, I have to be honest with you, I had to start planning very early. And actually, as Felix was first grader this year, I told him back in September or October that this was my plan. So I wanted him to do very well at school, and well, to tell you the truth, we expected that he would do very well, but still I just wanted to motivate him, and I ended up, I had been thinking about the native environment for so long, but I also knew that, I would just never have the possibility to take them to the US, so UK is closer. And I told him, okay, Felix, if you do very well at school for your first year, then I will take you to London. So actually I started to save up money back in October, and month by month it grew bigger and bigger, thank God, and this is how we managed. Now the 4 days were actually like 2 full days and 2 half days, even though we spent like nearly 4 times 24 hours there, okay? And I'm just reading that Moni had been to London and Oxford. That's wonderful. You loved it and you want to go back with your kids, once they will be a bit older. Well, to tell you the truth, I have a mommy in my rhyme time group at Dunakeszi, and they had been to London just a few weeks before us with 2 little ones, with 2 kids actually under 3. So I totally adore them and how much courage they had, because she's amazing. Her name is Christy, and she just planned all their week, day by day, and with the stroller and with like walking all day long with an almost 3-year-old and an almost 1-year-old. Is just really wonderful what she did. So I thought, okay, probably I would do this quite okay with just 1 kid and only for 4 days. But traveling takes a lot of time. So if you ever plan to go to London, then you have to count on like half a day of traveling, literally. We left the house at like, let's say 4 a.m. on Wednesday to get to the airport, and we actually got into our room in the hotel in London at like 1:30 p.m. So it was a very long morning for us. And the same on our last day, we left the hotel at 1 p.m. And no, actually that was even worse, or almost the same. So we left the hotel at 1, and we got home here into the house at like 11:30 p.m. which was like, our last day. So Felix got really tired, but he did very well. So traveling was fine, but you have to count on the airport transfer, waiting in the airport, the flight, and then waiting for your transfer again to get into London, unless you go to Heathrow, because see, this is something I didn't really realize, that Heathrow is connected with the city, with the underground, and our other airport where we landed, it was Stansted, we didn't have like underground connection, so we had to wait for a bus. And then 2 hours of bus ride, and then still figuring out like what we have to do to get to our hotel. But anyway, we saw a few things that are must. So we went to the Buckingham Palace, we went to the Sea Life Aquarium, which was wonderful. We checked the new place, which is called Shrek's Adventure Amusement Park. Actually, we didn't go into the amusement park, we only went into the shop of this DreamWorks company, let's put it this way. We sat on the London Eye, which I was really expecting, but actually, guess what? It was like a big disappointment for Felix, because he thought it would be much, much faster, and actually the wheel took us around once, and it took half an hour to get that one circle. So it was truly slow. I enjoyed it. Felix expected something faster. Oh, and I just see that Rita had been there in 2012 2 times. Wow. Their lives many nationality together, and they speak English in a variety level and accent. Now, Rita, you're shooting my point. Yeah, but I'll get there as well. So, yeah, the London Eye, and then we went to the Natural History Museum the next day. We went to the Science Museum, and actually I didn't expect this, but we ended up at the Victoria and Albert Hall, which is like an arts museum, a huge arts museum. And actually on Friday we had been to 3 museums, plus we went into the Hyde Park, where we sat you know, on this boat with the pedals. They call it pedalo. It's like, I guess it's an Italian word. And we paddled on the water for an hour. That was like our break between the museums. And actually we were out until like 9 p.m, but we really enjoyed it. And then we also went to the London Tower and the Tower Bridge. And, oh no, Rita, it's okay. And, yeah, a few funny things that happened. We didn't realize we were watching the Big Ben because it's getting renovated and it was just covered with black covering. So we actually didn't realize until a while that, oh, that's Big Ben. It was like something funny. I got very angry that we couldn't see the Big Ben as it is, but never mind. Another thing that the many moms told me to check, it was the Hamley's toy store. Now you have to know about me that I never ever take my kids to toy stores. It's like something, sorry, but I just don't have the patience to wait until they check everything and then they tell me to buy everything and then I have to say no for everything. So I'm sorry, but I usually don't take my kids to toy stores. We check things online, they can choose things, and then, you know, I order it or I go and get it, but without them. Now here was this toy store of 6 levels, 1, 2, like ground floor, -1, ground floor, and 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th floor, so it's actually 6 + 1 floors of toys. Now we went there once in the morning, then we had a ticket to the Sea Life Aquarium for 11, so we had to leave, and then we went back there in the afternoon and spent nearly 2 hours in the toy store, and that was tiring. That was more tiring for me than the museums. And the funny thing was that there are these workers there, these animators on each level, like 5 of them at least, who are like juggling with balls and showing you the latest things that you can buy there, like magicians, and it was very fascinating and we enjoyed it a lot. But here is my point: how to London in English. First of all, we had to realize that, and I also shared this hashtag in my photos that I have sent you last week from London, that nobody speaks perfect English in London. Now this might be obvious for some of you, but you know, we Hungarians are so much concerned about pronunciation, grammar mistakes, and basically just we don't have the courage to talk and speak. Now here is my most important message for you from London. Nobody speaks perfect English in London, and we nearly met any British people. Now I know London is like a huge city. I know so many nationalities live there, but I've never thought that I would have to like search for British people to talk to. We couldn't understand each other with the roomkeeper, with the hotel receptionist, because he was not an Englishman. The bus rider was not an Englishman. The lady at the underground whom we asked help from was not an English lady. The gentleman who helped us at the lake where we sat on the pedalo was not an Englishman. The cash lady and the cashman at the stores, most of them were not English. So what's my point? So many nationalities just arrived to London, and I suppose that they, like, well, I wouldn't say all of them, but many of them just never learned English before they ended up living in London. Do you know what I mean? That they just took a decision, they moved to London, and they just started to live their lives in English. And they started to catch up, you know, from the surrounding, just like we do the home bilingual journey with our children, that we ensure the environment of bilingualism and also English playtime, and our kids just start catching up. Now, yeah, the English people are in Spain. Okay, it's good to know. Then next year I will try to head out to Madrid with my boys and see how much English we can catch up there. So basically, Felix, and I just want to get back to Margot's first question, how difficult it is for a child to understand English, right? This was the first question. But you can send me questions. How difficult is real English for a kid? Now, I don't really know, because what Felix heard, and you know, people just, you know, started to talk English to him when they heard that we were speaking English, but their English was not the English that he's used to. And you know, so many people told me that when we get to London, you know, Barbie, you should get Felix ready that he won't understand British English, and not because I don't speak British English, but mostly American, but just because their English is just so harsh and, you know, not really the one that kids can catch up from either cartoons or from me. But this was not the case. Felix couldn't understand them because their English was just not the English language that we, you know, try to show to our kids. But when we met British people, it was a little better. So of course he's rather shy, and he doesn't really, you know, he's not a chatty person in Hungarian either. So, sorry, I'm just receiving some messages. So I spoke English to him, and he started to react and answer more and more in English. But to tell you the truth, it was not the perfect environment for him. It was not the one that I expected it to be. So our first and most important point was that you shouldn't be afraid of speaking, of talking to your child, of spending time in English with your baby or toddler or preschooler or schooler, because what they need to not only hear but see is simply the fact that you enjoy English language and you want to speak more and more, and you would love them to hear more and more English. Okay, so just this is my message for you Hungarian mommies. Okay, don't be shy, start to talk and just talk more and more daily into the mirror. Of course you can practice, but with your baby, okay, because your baby loves you and he or she would accept anything from you. So until he or she sees that you enjoy your time in English, then they will enjoy it as well. Now, how can you enjoy English time if you don't speak perfect English? Basically, you should just try to get yourself understood. Do you know what I mean? Is that, you know, we use our smiles, we use our mimics, we use our hands, we use our body language, we use everything we can, just that our baby would understand us, okay? Sometimes it's the same with Hungarian, you know, when your baby is just not fluent in Hungarian yet, but it's the same in English. And I just want you to be brave, and I want to encourage you to keep on with this bilingual journey and follow us, because we will provide you so many new materials this summer. It's not only the books, you know, we have so many new teachers in the group, and they will all share their experiences with you in their rhyme time groups, in the jump and fun groups. And I'm so proud of all these ladies who have joined our team, and more of them are coming. We are having a new teachers course this summer again, so more and more groups will open. But just getting back to London for one more second, and then I let you go, because I know it's time to wake up the babies, pick up the babies, feed the babies, or maybe put your baby to sleep. So with London, I just experienced this wonderful environment of openness, and people being very, very friendly and helpful around us, okay? So this is my second point, that don't be, if you ever get to London or any countries abroad, don't be afraid of speaking there either, because they are helpful. They are used to people who don't speak perfect English. I don't even know how they keep up speaking their mother tongue, you know, correctly. But they were just so open-minded and helpful. You know, they saw me traveling along with a child, and you know, they saw, there was one situation, and I think this will be my last story, okay? And then you can just ask me anything about London, but I will finish up with this one. Oh no, two more things that just came to my mind. One is that on our first day we stopped at a bakery to you know, just to pick up some food for us. It was around lunchtime, and the man was handing over a bag of something to Felix, and Felix was still a little shy, you know, he was tired, he was up since 4 a.m. and he just like dropped something on the floor, and I got like, what are you doing? Why don't you pick it up? Why aren't you more, you know, more careful? And this guy, he was a black guy, and so many black people are there, and I always loved black people. So for me, it was like when I was in New York, I just enjoyed being amongst black people. So here in London, I felt like, okay, here is a black man, there is a black girl. So I just felt more comfortable. I don't know why, most probably because they're just so friendly. And this was true to this guy as well. Like he saw this whole situation between me and my son. It was like, you know, 10 seconds. And he just looked at me and say, hey, okay, come on, breathe. So on our very first day, I got this message from a very nice black gentleman. His message was just breathe. Moms, breathe. Take it easy. Take this summer easy. Take your bilingual journey easy. Take it seriously, but take it easy with your children, because we don't want to frustrate them, and we want them to enjoy this journey a lot, okay? So my message, my second message is breathe, okay? Maybe I will add these hashtags to this live. Nobody speaks perfect English, at least in London. Breathe. And then the third thing, and I will finish with this one, is truly the Usborne books, okay? So anywhere we went, Usborne books faced me. They were everywhere. So it's not just our, you know, I wouldn't say stupidity, but like our love for these books, but truly these English places. You know, they just love the books everywhere. They just, you know, we faced London books at the airport. We faced all kinds of books in topics in this 6+1 level toy store at Hamleys. At the Science Museum, there were science Osborne books on the shelves. At the Natural History Museum, there were lots of dinosaur books on the shelves that were Osborne books. So literally, I just saw these books everywhere, and I felt, you know how I felt? I felt, you know, home, because these books are in our homes, in the home of these Hungarian families who just really want to carry on bilingualism day by day. And I just felt so proud of you, because I knew that if you were there, you would just say, okay, I have this book, I have that book, I have that book. Oh, this is a new one. Okay, I will order it. So it was just really, really encouraging that what we are doing here in Hungary with these wonderful native, authentic English books is actually the thing that the English families do at home. So keep on with the English books, mummies. Use the special sale that we have until tonight, midnight, and just, you know, pack up your bookshelves, because these books are truly great and well loved in London, in England as well. Oh yeah, and last but not least, the pepper things. Like, I was amazed. They have like pepper vitamins, jelly vitamins. They have pepper shaped vitamins that your child can take daily. You can eat pepper. They have pepper lollipops. They have pepper, of course, plush toys, stickers, books, cars, houses, Peppa's Friends collection, shirts, underwears, bibs, like anything with Peppa, okay? So I have to tell you that we are on the right road to a very, very enjoyable bilingualism with these wonderful books and with the Peppa collections. So you can check these ones as well in the web shop. And I'm saying goodbye, but before that, here as well, I'm not sure if Ancha is watching, but today is actually her birthday. So I just want to wish her a very, very happy birthday. And I want you to know that she is so hardworking. She is the best person I could have ever imagined to work with beside me. Before her, I always worked alone. I never had any colleagues. She was actually the first colleague I got 2.5 years ago, and we just blessed the day. I blessed the day when I met her. We always say this story that it's like a red colored day in our calendar. It was the 18th of January 2016 when I met this wonderful lady, and she was friendly from the first minute we met. I had my little baby boy, 3 months old Adam, with me, and she was just so enthusiastic about what I was doing, and ever since we go on this journey, and she is like the greatest help I could ever imagine for myself. So if you love Ancha, then you can just send hearts, and you can send a happy birthday Ancha comment right here, right now, because she will watch this live later too. And you can share why you love Ancha, if you've ever met her, if you've ever talked to her on Skype or on the phone or in any of our online challenges, okay? And this day is actually also like a red colored day in my calendar, because I'm just very happy for her, and I'm very thankful that I met her and I can have her as my friend and my colleague. So happy birthday, Ancha. Have a very blessed day. And all you mummies, have a very blessed weekend. Think about this. Think about how how you feel about London, how you feel about a native environment, if you would be afraid of like stepping into a native city or a country where nobody speaks Hungarian. How would you react? What would you think? And then just, you know, remember my 3 points, that nobody speaks perfect English. You just have to breathe, and the books that we use are the perfect helpers for you in this journey. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you a happy weekend, and I'm wishing Antra again once more a very happy and blessed birthday. Let us know if you have any questions in connection with London or summer plans. Yeah, and it's so great what Margot is writing. Are you reading it? As an applied linguistic, I always say there is no perfect speaker in any language, neither in Hungarian. So Barbie is right. Don't be afraid to use your foreign language knowledge. Thank you. Thanks, Margot, so much for sharing this. It's always good to have feedbacks from those who are, you know, really professionals, English teachers, linguistic people, and you know, it's just wonderful to have all of you being connected with us and with our journey. Thank you so much again, and have a good weekend and a nice evening today. Goodbye.